just in case you missed it, it's the top 5 sports talkers of the day. Now, it's time for Dan Barrero's Top 5 at 5. Brought to you by Gutter Helmet of Minnesota. Never clean your gutters again. Learn more at gutterhelmetmn.com.
Are they calling Gus Bus when he's in net for Sweden the Wall of Stockholm?
I don't think so.
Although today, not so much, because he gave up, I think, a couple of soft goals. Kept Italy in the game. Eventually, however, the Italians did fade, giving up 60 shots on goal.
That's a tough night.
That's a tough night for anybody.
Who's their goalie? Because that guy's pretty solid.
A couple people have nominated him that maybe Guerin, while he's over there, should consider, a little. If we trade Volstedt and Flower doesn't want to come out of retirement, we're going to need another goalie.
But you know what?
So there it is. That's the beauty of being the guy in charge of this thing. You're in the middle of all of it, right?
And you've got great opportunities to scout on your own.
Exactly right.
On Team USA's dime, Craig Leopold doesn't even have to pay for it.
You are correct.
All right. I want to start outside of Minnesota for the top 5 at 5. I want to start with Golden State, although there is kind of a local angle because the player I'm about to talk about had to play a lot last year in the Western Conference semifinals.
That's true.
Against the Minnesota Timberwolves. His name is Jonathan Kuminga. You've been around the block a lot longer than me. I don't know if there's ever been a player who has done less that has been discussed more than Jonathan Kuminga.
Very well said.
And maybe it's because people like saying Kuminga.
I think that may be some of it.
If his name was Jonathan Smith,
probably less interest.
He's
gotten way. As a guy who can manufacture outrage over silly stuff, I still am going to go on a limb and say the level of outrage about free Kuminga, let him go. It's
right.
like he's not consequential enough for me on any level, but because it's a story and during the offseason there wasn't much else to talk about, he became daily grist for the mill among NBA media jackals. But go ahead.
And I get it, because he was a top 10 pick.
Yes.
He was highly thought of. He was highly touted.
Right.
I get all of those things. And he probably wasn't a great fit for the Steve Kerr / Steph Curry / Jimmy Butler, Klay Thompson at times offense. He was a bucket against us for a couple of games, and then that kind of faded away.
That's true.
Which I also think vindicated Kerr, that what are we really doing here?
Right.
Like, he's the only guy we have, and we still can't score, so what are we going to do? But he eventually ended up getting traded, right? They finally moved on. And we got my favorite, I think, for me, this is one of the funniest things I've ever heard. As
part of the schism.
Yeah, you're doing the pros and cons of the Kuminga era.
Correct.
Not whether or not can score or he's working on his game. Another one was one of them was they didn't like apparently that he had his own personal trainer and he would work out away from the facility, to which I would say, I mean, you're not playing him. You clearly don't want him. I don't blame him for going out and getting some extra work. What's wrong with that? But I just want to read this paragraph from the ESPN story. Had to do December 10th, a couple of months ago. Kuminga and Steve Kerr, they had to have a meeting. And it was Kuminga was prepared for the conversation. He knew management wanted to ding him for missing a team-requested event and alert him that someone around him was taking too much food from the family room.
It's too good. It's absolutely too good.
Of all the things.
Yes. Well, they're doing the ledger, like you said. There may be that one was worth like 10 items on the other side because it's so egregious. Think about it. Somebody actually thought not only that it was worth mentioning, but it was worth leaking in a story that was sort of explaining, how did it end up going bad? Well, how did the schism develop between Kuminga and the Warriors? Well, one of the big things was, I had a friend who just kept going back and getting more and more food. It became untenable at some point.
I'm just glad.
What are the odds on that?
Kuminga, Glenn Mason would say, Kuminga's lucky that I'm not his friend.
That's true.
Because I may have gotten him in trouble. Yeah. I would have kept going back to the food line.
It is very good.
It just cracks me up.
It's
because of all things. The Golden State Warriors, by the way, they're owned by the Lacob family, right? Or
yes.
Lacob, Joe Lacob.
That's right.
He's a billionaire. They just privately financed a $4 billion Chase Center in downtown San Francisco. I don't know if it's downtown, but it's close. It's on the water. I was there for Game 4. Oh, good for me.
Yeah.
So that's what they're looking at. it cracks me up. It just cracks me up that, well, what's another thing we can get him on, Bob? Well, like Uncle Dennis for Kawhi. Pablo Torre's doing a whole other thing about the money. The LLCs that Uncle Dennis has been starting and getting allegedly millions of dollars more for Kawhi Leonard that is under the table and they're skirting the salary cap. That's what Kawhi Leonard's family member's doing. And getting these sham deals. Meanwhile, one of Kuminga's friends or families just taking a couple extra hot dogs.
It's too good.
It was my favorite.
It's the best. It's one of the sneaky great sports stories of the day. There's no question about that. Maybe the week, perhaps even the month.
Naz Reid might need some free hot dogs because he has been fined $35,000. Both he and the
that's not going to help his foul mood.
No kidding. You're right. The Atlanta Hawk that he got in a fight with, they've both been fined $35,000 for their altercation. Chris Hine called it a kerfuffle. He used the bumper word.
Good term.
Chris Hine from the Star Tribune said kerfuffle. And so it's $35,000 for Naz Reid. That was announced today. But he can play tonight as the Timberwolves wrap up their pre-All-Star game portion of the schedule with the Portland Trailblazers in town. The Portland Trailblazers are in town, and as I pull up the standings, the Timberwolves are 32-22, 33-22, I should say.
Are we in 6 or 7?
We are in 6th.
6th.
A half game ahead of the Phoenix Suns.
They're one of the great stories of the year.
Yes.
They got rid of all of their alleged superstar talent, and they're better. Think about it. Well, they still got the guard. They still got him, but
Devin Booker.
But the rest of it.
Yeah, Beal gone and already hurt, right?
And Durant gone.
Durant gone in Houston. It's working out well for the Rockets. They're the 3 seed right now. So the Wolves are a game and a half out of the 3rd spot.
Right.
San Antonio Davies kind of separating for the 2nd spot right now. Oklahoma City's 41-13. The Spurs are 3.5 games back of them, but 3.5 games ahead of the Houston Rockets. You mentioned, I did want to give you one other, what I thought was funny. One other nugget from Twitter today, and there's reasons why you just can't quit the site, even though I'd love to some days, especially nowadays. Matt Ishbia tweet. Man, where is it? Let me get to Bill Simmons, because did you see the Bill Simmons and Matt Ishbia dust up?
No.
Pretty good stuff, and I think I'm on Simmons' side here.
Ishbia is the owner of the Suns.
Is the owner of the Suns.
Right. One of the Ishbias was going to buy us.
And then he
ended up buying the White Sox, right.
Matt Ishbia this morning tweets this out. 32 wins for the Suns, and all before the All-Star break. Think that puts us above your season prediction bet of under 31.5 wins, Bill Simmons. You guys usually have great content and good stuff. Thanks for all you do. But also keep your eye on the Suns. Like I told you, we have different culture and team in Phoenix these days. We still have a long way to go, but we are working hard to get there. Go Suns. So he wakes up today with 32 victories and wants to chirp the sports guy. Simmons notices. This is a great response, I think. He's kind of getting cooked for it, but I think it's great. Congratulations on a very good season so far. I've enjoyed watching you guys and think you picked a terrific coach. Fun league pass team. For the record, I picked the Suns to win 50-plus games last season and never heard a peep from you when you went 36-46, so I was wrong twice.
That's good. That is a good comeback.
That's great.
That's a great comeback.
It's so good. It's harmless. It's fun.
Yeah, it is. It's very harmless. Very, very true. That's pretty good. Did you see also somebody, I can't remember the name of the person who was on with Simmons, and the discussion was, is there any way to save the NBA All-Star game?
Oh, I didn't see this.
And the answer from the other individual was half serious, half kidding, I think.
Oh, I think I did see this.
Was to say, forget the U.S. versus the world. If you made it simply black players versus white players, the ratings would go through the roof. And Simmons is, half chuckling, half like, oh, you can't even make this up. Who was the guy who was on with him? I can't.
Was that Nick Wright?
Long hair, yeah.
Nick Wright.
That's Nick. Yeah.
Yes, I have seen that.
So
I didn't know that was with Simmons. That's funny.
That was with Simmons. Yeah, exactly it.
Simmons also said the NBA's got some serious problems.
Finally,
the load management and the people not playing games.
Well, join the club, man. We've been talking about that forever. It's about time he got on it.
But he doesn't know if Silver's the guy to fix it.
He's not.
Yeah.
No, I'll answer. He's not. He's already proven that. He doesn't. I think for him, he doesn't. I think he gets lost in his own fairness. If that doesn't sound too preposterous.
No, that's great.
David Stern, at certain moments, understood, I can't be an effective commissioner if I worry about fair.
I have to be the boss.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I don't understand. I think he's too decent of a guy.
That's a great description.
And
so few of us.
Yeah, exactly. Where it goes, I don't know. I know there's a ton of discussion about it right now, because part of it is a belief that this draft is going to be historic.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And like 5 or 6 players who are all considered superstar potentially, or superstar material potentially. And so, again, teams are saying, well, change the rules if you don't like it. I mean, I got to do what I got to do. We've been terrible forever. And if this gives us our best chance to get good, we're going to do it. I hate it. I can't stand it, but it's a part of the issue.
A fan wants to give you a shot to win bonus bucks. It is our national cash contest. The keyword for the 5 o'clock hour today, the final one of the afternoon, is gold. Ooh, gold. Like the Olympics. Go to KFAN.com and enter the keyword gold.
We got Kessler in about 15 minutes. I got another Winter Olympic nugget that definitely has a local angle, which we must discuss. And we'll get to a couple of other texts and who knows what else when we return.
Wolves.
Dave Chappelle returns to Minnesota February 16th with very special guest clips. Don't miss out on this one-off, one-of-a-kind set at Grand Casino Arena, the new X. Tickets are on sale now. All the details, KFAN.com, keyword calendar.
Do you have a Iowa Wild, as in the minor league team,
Yeah.
pronunciation key?
Oh, Brett Blakemore, is he still here? He would be the guy. That's his squad.
Yeah, I just asked this question. We got an answer. It might have been from Fallness. I think it was from Fallness, but I don't see Blakemore. I cannot remember how to pronounce our Iowa Wild goaltender. Last name is spelled Hlavaj.
Okay.
And it's kind of important for us to know it today, especially because he, too, has already made his mark in the Winter Olympics.
Oh, wow.
As the goaltender for Slovakia. Slovakia upset Finland today 4-1. He stopped 38 of 39 shots. That's not a bad start for him, and he's ours. So, you know what this is going to encourage?
Trading the wall of St. Paul.
Trading the wall of St. Paul. Exactly, Wallstedt. Because it looks like we got the next goaltender in waiting, and he performed admirably. First game, preliminary round, in Italy on behalf of his Slovakia club. 4-1 victory. I can't remember how to pronounce it. Sounds good to me.
That's one phonetic. The other one is Lavai. Halavai?
Is Fallness, no, he wouldn't be like in the studio because he's got no reason to be in the studio right now.
No, he's barely in the studio when he needs to be.
Yeah, that's very, very true. Anyway, that was, I thought, a worthy Winter Olympic nugget with a bit of a local angle there as well.
So we're an embarrassment of riches.
Yeah, and plus we know we got Flower in waiting.
Right.
We need to bring him out of retirement.
Right.
So that's pretty impressive. Debut. I mean, that's pretty good work on his part. I had one other item. Well, no, that's it. That's good enough for Winter Olympic stuff. Let me get to a couple of other texts. Lawyer Tom is back. He suggests that Adam Silver would have taken only 3 first-round picks from the Wolves for the Joe Smith fiasco. If that. Yeah, that's very, very true, Davey. I think pretty sure eventually Stern gave at least 1 or 2 of them back.
I remember
It started out as 5, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
It was. I mean, you want to talk about draconian? It was off the charts. It was unprecedented. And I think he felt a little bit of guilt. Took a little bit of pity.
Well, he watched the Wolves in those seasons. He watched one of his great players of all time, Kevin Garnett, languishing.
Yeah, that might have had something to do with it, too.
KG didn't have anything to do with it, except he really liked Joe Smith, and that was probably why they tried to sign him.
There's no doubt. I've heard some buzz about the possibility of a Malik Willis acquisition for the purple offseason. Thoughts on that? I would be interested. I would be shocked if the Packers dealt him here. Because is he under contract? I thought he was a free agent.
Let's find out. I thought he was too.
I thought he's a free agent. Jones is still under contract. I think that would have to be a trade. The Niners guy. I thought that Malik Willis was a free agent. You can double check.
He's a free agent.
Yeah, I think again he's going to want, as we talked about with Seifert, he's going to want a sure thing. He's going to want to be handed the starter's job because somebody's going to do that for him, I think. And by the way, I don't think he's a sure thing at all, but he's intriguing. And you're in that position where there are going to be warts on any of the quarterbacks that you're talking about.
That's true.
And that's where it's going to be such a monumental decision, a momentous decision for this club, because you got to be right on it if you're really going to give yourself a hedge in case it doesn't go well for J.J. McCarthy. So all that has to be another reason why this offseason is so incredibly dramatic. Kuminga, here's a callback to your Kuminga item in the top 5, was drafted with our pick that we sent with Wiggins to Golden State. Is that true?
That is true. Yes.
That makes sense. And by the way, has D'Lo yet reported to Washington? I think he was traded. He was in Dallas, sent a bunch of people as part of the Anthony Davis deal. But the last I'd seen is that D'Lo, had he not shown up because they told him they were going to buy him out, or had he just said, was he pouting and said, I'm just not going to go anywhere, I'm not going to play anymore? I doubt that he would do that because he's going to lose money on that deal, isn't he?
The reports here are that he's refusing to report.
Well, he's earned it. I mean, when you have his track record and his level of success attained, you're going to say, no, I'm planting my feet. Not going to be a problem.
Will Dawkins, the GM in Washington, with D'Angelo, we've talked to him, talked to his representatives. At the time, he's not going to report as we try to figure out what's best for him and us in our future. So it might be bought out.
I don't even know what to say. Yeah, somebody's saying we got one of the picks back that Stern originally took away from us, and we drafted Duty Eby with that pick. Is that true?
Oh, well, I mean, the timeline would work.
It would make sense, yeah. Andy Eby, and it was David Stern who pronounced it Duty Eby. I think he thought the N was silent. Because I think it was Ndudi.
It was.
And he had the wrong letter being silent.
Where is it? It's in here somewhere.
You have it still?
Oh, yeah. It's on one of our main pages. I just can't find it. Here it is.
Duty Eby.
Because
it's unfortunate.
He had a good McDonald's All-American game half against LeBron James.
Leslie Frazier's calling me right now.
Is he really?
Can you start talking for a second? I'll say hi to him.
I probably could. Yeah, see what's going on. So we're trying to get the former Vikings head coach.
Oh, he just hung up.
We're going to break here in a minute.
Yeah.
I mean, you can break now.
I didn't want to lose it because what if he doesn't call back? What if he never calls again?
Leslie's too nice a guy.
He is a pretty nice guy. That's very, very true.
He's probably going to apologize that he didn't connect with you.
Dan, I'd like to apologize.
Dan, I'm sorry I called during the show. I'm out here in Seattle.
Little did I know.
It's 3 o'clock. I didn't know you were starting. Book him for tomorrow when you call him back.
Yeah, I can't wait. I hope we can get him on. That'd be a lot of fun.
Another Super Bowl for Leslie Frazier.
You say that with kind of admiration and a little bit of disgust.
No, I don't have any disgust.
I mean, not against him, you wouldn't, but like you just haven't had it come close to being able to enjoy that.
Never. The closest we've ever really been is 1998. I guess 2009. Those
2009 was
2009
was very close. You could argue
closer.
I think that team was better equipped to win it all too.
I agree.
The 98 team they were injury ravaged off that game.
Yep, they were.
Just saying.
I know.
It's a possibility.
Someday.
There's the other. There's a lot of good texts that have come in during the Done as a Society segment, but I'll leave those for another day. I figured you'd be proud of me. I had during the top 5. I didn't lose myself in those.
You're right. You were very engaged.
I thought I was. I mean, you just let that go.
I know you're right. I should have acknowledged.
You got to reinforce that.
You're right.
Because I so rarely do it.
You're right. Well, but on the front end, I knew I had you hooked with the Kuminga. If I had done something that you weren't so interested in,
that's probably true.
But the Kuminga thing, I'm glad you knew about it. That's what always hurts me is when I bring up something you don't know about.
And then I get lost in the text. And
that's the problem. That's the problem.
Did Tanya Harding once say this as an Olympian? Teammates, schmeemates. Did she once say that? Is when the battle royal was going on between her and Kerrigan?
Maybe.
It's certainly, that's believable, is it not?
Given what went on kind of on her watch.
There's still people who don't believe. There's people who think that story is like we landed on the moon story. They don't believe it because it strains credulity.
It does.
The assault on Nancy Kerrigan, right?
By another American.
By another American.
That's the thing. Tanya Harding wasn't from Russia. It wasn't like a Cold War thing.
Was Galuli the boyfriend and Stant the goon, or was Galuli the goon and Stant the boyfriend?
I think Galuli was the boyfriend.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. Jeff Galuli. That was his name, wasn't it?
Infamous. Yeah, I'll never forget it.
Whatever happened to him? Whatever happened to Shane Stant?
I don't know.
Whatever happened to Nancy Kerrigan?
She married a NHL guy.
Oh, that's right. And Tanya Harding, they made a movie out of her, right?
Yes. She's done a lot.
She's done a lot of stuff.
Well, she needs money. I mean, she's capitalized off her infamy. Kerrigan, I think, prefers to be in the background a little bit.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. So I got Kessler coming up. Is that the plan?
He's here. I've already talked to him.
I got a bonus story for him that was not going to be on his list. I'm very curious to get his reaction to it. And we'll get into some other stuff with Special K, Pat Kessler. 646-86. That's the Bradshaw and Bryant KFAN text line. Back in a minute.
I wish the American media would take a great look at the views of the people in Congress and find out, are they pro-America or anti-America?
Pat Kessler.
Because people have got to know whether or not their president's a crook. Well, I'm not a crook.
I can't trust Obama. He's an Arab.
Pat Kessler.
Tear down this wall.
This is Pat Kessler.
Did nothing wrong at the Minneapolis airport.
Senator, you're no Jack Kennedy.
Pat Kessler.
This is Pat Kessler reporting.
To help Dan break down all the tough questions in politics, it's our own Pat Kessler Political Walk.
I feel like a supermodel, except like times 10.
It's Channel 4's Pat Kessler with Dan Barrero on the Fan.
What kind of legacy do I leave? I just did the best job I could.
Galuli is a goon. Special K makes ladies swoon. Io taking the Wolves to the moon. Wolves in 5.
That is a really good one. I did look up Galuli. And
so was he? Galuli was the muscle. He's the one who
the husband.
Oh yeah, Galuli was the husband. Stant was the muscle.
So he's the husband.
Hired Shane Stant.
He was the brains behind the entire
he used that term
operation.
Advisedly,
yeah. I mean, what a time that was.
Do we have that sound still, Gaardsy? Nancy Kerrigan, remember going, why?
Why? Oh, that's so good.
And actually, what was sad about it at the time? She got mocked for that.
I know.
She got mocked. Privileged girl. Suck it up. I mean, they basically tried to not murder her, but to try to end her career, which didn't they? Did that end it for her? Well, did she recover from that?
I mean, she tried to skate then. I don't know if she ever came back or not. I don't remember.
What was it that they used? Was it a ball-peen hammer on her leg?
Yeah,
what did they use?
It was a little hammer.
It was a little hammer.
Yeah.
I mean, how sick is that?
Okay, so we're talking about whatever drama there is in this Olympics.
Yeah,
that's nothing.
Oh, that's true.
We used up all the
imagine
Olympic
that
scandals.
Story in today's 24/7 news cycle.
It would never end.
It would never end. The internet would explode.
You'd barely cover the events. So then all the movies. I mean, go look at the movies. I, Tanya, she was incredible.
I never saw that movie. I heard it was good. Was it well done?
Great movie.
Yeah. Did she endorse it, or did she think it was too mean to her?
Don't remember.
Don't recall.
Yeah, but that was, I mean, what a time.
Tanya Harding was one of Celebrity Wars cooks, was very good on it. As I was watching, it was hard to believe what her people were involved in with the Olympics. I don't remember that.
She did boxing, too, for a while. She's been on a lot of reality shows.
Yeah,
she's infamous.
True.
Yeah, since leaving skating, and she went boxing, I looked this up right before we came on.
Yes.
She worked as a welder, a painter at a metal fabrication plant.
Man.
And a hardware sales clerk at Sears. Come on.
That's a very eclectic mix.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, that's quite...
So, on social media, they say, take your top 5 jobs.
Yeah.
Take your 5 jobs and put them up. Yeah, she's had a lot of them.
I can't see you as being a very effective welder.
Me?
Yeah, you're not nuts and
Why would you say that?
I don't think you're a manual labor. I'm not either. You're more manual labor than me.
You know nothing about me, Dan.
You grew up on a farm, that's true.
So
you had to do some manual labor on the farm, right?
A lot of welding.
Do you...
You're so far away from the welder. Your hands have had too much moisturizer.
No, there was how many? I mean, well, how many? Okay, let me ask you this.
Sure.
Where you lived growing up,
yes,
did you have a machine shed?
No, but we had. I mean, my grandfathers, both of them worked in the steel mill, so they were good. They were manual laborers.
Sure,
for sure.
No. If we had to
I was incapable of it, but
so they didn't have the welding and all that.
No, but they did a lot of their own work, like in the basement. They were very good and very handy.
I am exaggerating here because if we had any welding to do, any kind of that heavy work, we would just take it up the road. To
hire it out?
The town of Dale, Minnesota.
Dale, Minnesota.
Dale, Minnesota. Population 6.
Any stoplights?
Population 6.
You're making that up.
I'm not making it up. And Owen Gold was the dude, and he had some. And
he probably did a good business because he was the guy who had to do everything.
All the farmers brought their broken tractor axles and all that stuff. Yeah,
that's pretty good.
It was great. Yeah.
In the course of your political reporting career, how many sports arena stories do you think you covered?
Oh gosh, many, because many never came to fruition.
Yeah, that's also true.
Yeah.
So you obviously, when the North Stars are going through their stuff at the Met Center, were you already reporting on that stuff then?
I want to say I'm not that old, but I am. I'm 80-some years old, so I probably covered it. Yeah,
this is Pat Kessler. You've been through that. You've been through several iterations of the Twins one.
Yeah, the Twins.
Ballpark crisis.
And the best stadium in the NFL. The People Stadium.
The People Stadium, the Vikings. University of Minnesota.
U of M, Wild.
Target Center.
Target Center, yep.
You've been through all these. I ask you because I'm looking, apparently A-Rod just spoke yesterday at the University of Minnesota. This is a speaker series with the Carlson School of Management.
Wow.
And
that's pretty cool.
This story, let me quote, this is from an NPR News story regarding what he had to say there. And I want to give you a couple of the quotes to introduce the subject of what you think the climate is right now for another arena. Here's what A-Rod said. Back in the day, it was really a vanity or a luxury to have, as in a new arena. Today, it's a necessity, and it's a necessity to compete. I would say it really was never a luxury. I mean, we've needed arenas here forever. It goes back decades. But the question is whether. Oh, by the way, he has said, and this is not. We've heard this from many different people. Expects to secure funding mostly through private investment. Also said he expects it to be a 5 to 7 year project, which we've heard as well. Target Center, by the way, for the record, is the second oldest arena in the NBA, which is fascinating in of itself.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's
second
incredible.
Oldest.
Second oldest too? What's the only arena older?
United Center. No, I can't be right.
Not Boston's got a new one.
It's the most famous arena in the world.
It is?
According to them.
The Garden?
Madison Square Garden. Which is never going to go away.
Yeah, you can't.
No, well,
just keep refixing it up.
It. Yeah, they moved it a couple times.
Oh, yeah,
too.
Of course. We should absolutely know that. So I do not disagree with him on this. I do think that it is a necessity. And you know my feeling about having publicly funded, and it's interesting to hear him say that it's going to be mostly privately funded. I think that would make it go quite a long way.
No
and
question.
I think there would be an absolute appetite for it here in the Twin Cities. Where will it go is going to be the big question. Now, when I talked to him about a month or so ago, he didn't say this. What? What, you want to see a picture?
No, actually I don't.
No, I'm surprised we haven't.
Okay, that's good. That's good. That is the thing. I think I do agree that this has become a necessity for pro sports teams, but also, more importantly, for owners who need to have a return on the investment. No doubt about it. They have already made a couple of $1 billion on the Timberwolves just by signing the papers. The question is going to be where is it going to be located and how much state funding will go in? And I still think there is an appetite for state funding. And I'm not talking about 50% like it was with the Vikings, but I think if it was less than that, I think there would be some interest in that.
The devil's going to always be the details.
And you got to put it somewhere. You got to have it where there's light rail.
Yeah,
you got to have it there. So there are only a limited number of places you can put it. Unless you're going to move it out into Fridley or Hamel.
And I don't think they want to do that. I think, but the question is, does the footprint exist? And you got to buy up a lot of properties and all that. There's a lot of, I think, actually, the other battle is going to be, I think, with the city council. I think the mayor is going to be more sympathetic to it than the city council. Now, you're back to whether the mayor can veto some stuff from the city council. I think there's going to be a bigger battle with them than there will be with the mayor.
I think that's probably true. You've got state funding that could be done again with to pay off the debt with the gambling, the online gambling that you opposed so much back when the Vikings were trying to do it. The online pull tabs. Remember that? Yeah, that was a big one. So
huge.
I think where it's going to go is going to be important.
I agree.
You talk about where the Star Tribune had its publishing plant until a couple of months ago, and there's some talk about that area.
Yeah, you're right.
So there are places to put it. There is limited public funding available.
Yeah, limited at best at this point.
Yes, totally agree.
So you're probably more talking like maybe tax breaks than. That's where maybe they get help.
It might be a little bit more. You're going to have to redo all the roads and do all of that. Yeah, sure. But I think that's where they start, and I think people might be supportive if the new ownership is going to pay a majority of it.
Have you ever considered calling yourself a recovering narcissist? Because that's what A-Rod calls himself.
Oh no, then I shouldn't laugh.
Alex Rodriguez calls himself a recovering. This goes back a ways, but it comes up every once in a while when he speaks publicly, as in A-Rod, who refers to himself as a recovering narcissist.
Really?
Yeah. So would you ever use that for you? Kessler,
I'm going to have to think about it because I'm a practicing narcissist at the moment.
I was going to say you've relapsed.
That's very different.
I'm in. I would not. I know that everybody in this business, and if you're at that level that he is, is that there's narcissism and ego involved.
Not in radio.
Not in this room.
Not in this.
Not here.
Definitely not.
Not in this show.
Maybe other things, other programs, but not.
I know other shows.
Yeah, for sure. I just wondered. I love the term, a recovering narcissist.
How do you recover?
Allegedly, you're become more self-aware of your I think I've always looked at in A-Rod's cases, he knows he gets ripped by a lot of people. So he's saying, okay, I'm going to try to be proactive. I'm going to rip myself, and maybe that'll discourage people from ripping me. I'll say, yeah, you're right. I was because he was often accused of being a narcissist. So I'm going to say, yeah, I was, and now I'm working through it. I'm trying to recover from my narcissistic period.
If you are going through a recovery program with therapy.
And he was.
Okay, so
he was.
God bless him. More power to him.
Yeah.
Now, there are some people in our society who are extreme narcissists in our political realm.
Well, yeah.
I don't know why you're bringing this up.
I'm not. You're bringing it up. Oh, no, I didn't bring it up in a political sense. You're bringing it up in a political sense. Just own it.
Oh.
Don't pretend you're not. I have one other question before we get to some other stuff. So in this same story, I'm trying to figure out what to make of this. There's quotes also from the new Timberwolves and Lynx CEO, Matt Caldwell, who I've met. I think, a lot of people I think have met him either publicly or privately. He's had a couple off-the-record sessions with media jackals, etc. And he must have been there, too, because he said, Caldwell said, this is a guy who came from Florida. The Wolves are continuing to bring in new systems to increase revenue in the meantime. Okay, we get that. They've added a new ticket system called Jump. Have we talked about Jump before, Gaardsy?
We talked about it this time.
I thought we did.
Yeah.
Here's what's interesting to me about it. He says, the sports industry is still a little bit archaic in that they don't have a lot of data on their fans. You can't get to know them. He also said they're planning on incorporating more artificial intelligence into their ticket pricing. This includes using models that incorporate factors like the weather, teams playing, and even the political environment to adjust pricing per game day. All these things we're generally doing somewhat manually, but AI is going to be able to get us the price every second. What's the exact penny that we should be going up or down to maximize revenue? So what does he mean about we don't really have a lot of data on our fans? And what are you looking for? Like if you're in his position, what are you looking for from that data that he thinks that teams have, sports franchises historically have not done a good enough job of doing? What are they looking for? Either one of you.
I think that's absolutely true. And Gaardsy, you jump in here because I think that the Vikings have done quite a bit of this kind of research, and I would call it market research. And maybe I'm wrong about that. The Vikings season ticket holders live in certain areas, and the Vikings know exactly where they are. I presume that the Timberwolves do, too.
I just thought everybody did this. He's making it sound like not so much.
Well, if you're using AI, that's an entirely new tool.
That's true.
So will it be dynamic pricing based on if people are showing up, if people are leaving, what are they going to charge? I think it's probably smart to look at that. So these are all new ideas that I don't think we have heard out of the Timberwolves. I'm going to say ever. Tell me I'm wrong. Fight me.
Well, I'm just trying to. It sounds cool, but I want to know. I want to know what it actually means.
When you're using like the Timberwolves app, it's how expensive the tickets are that you're buying, what you're buying them for. If they send an alert that says, "Hey, this is our deal for today. Do you buy it? Do you not buy it? What do you buy when you're in the venue?" That's another thing. What are you using in terms of your perks as a season ticket member or as just someone that shows up? There's a million different things. They can literally learn everything. Yeah,
how do you aggregate all of that data of people who come, people who buy, people who sell, who their fans are based on their income levels and their locations geographically? I mean, there's so much to know. I'm interested.
Like, for example, the Chipotle CEO has made some waves this week because on their earnings call, he mentioned to investors that 60%, they've determined 60% of their customers are high earners, six figures or more.
Right.
So they have no issues raising the prices because our audience is, he basically says our customers are loyal. We're going to lean into the fact that they make good money and don't care what our prices are going to be. Essentially is what he said, if you want to be cynical about it. So I imagine as much as the Wolves want to learn about their people, they are looking for stuff like that.
Wow.
60% of our customers make
I have
X,
not heard that.
And they will come and they will buy the burrito bowls no matter what the price is. Guac, no guac. Guac extra and move on.
Well, they're paying extra for their guacamole anyway.
Exactly. That's why I said it. And they know that. So that's an example of we feel like we can raise our prices because this is what we've learned about our people.
Well, we'll see. We talked about this before. The other thing they're battling at Target Center, not including the obvious, which is, the age of the facility, is this, and it was intentionally done at the time. You may remember this. It's the only arena in North America, I believe, in which there are more seats on the upper level than the lower level.
That's incredible.
It is, and not good anymore. But as I recall it, for Harv and Marv, the theory behind it was we want to make this, we want to actually have more seats where it's affordable. That was the idea.
Now, that was the controversy when they built it, too. Make this affordable because they're using public money.
Exactly right. Yeah. And they didn't have, they weren't rich, certainly by today's standards. They were rich, but they were not billionaire rich by any means. Now it's the worst case scenario where, because those tickets are not considered as desirable because it's just, you're ways up there. It's the only arena in which it's upside down, so to speak.
Man.
Which I thought was kind of interesting. By the way, a couple things real quick on Harding. Tiny Harding was the only skater at the time that could land the triple axel. That's Cecil from Maple Grove. That sounds right.
Now we've got the quad god.
Yeah, the
quad god. Yeah, you're right. Nancy Kerrigan won the silver that yeyear.
Yeah.
Well, because she had her knee back.
They rearranged when she was able to do her Olympic tryout, so they made special dispensation. So he's answering my question. She did recover. I did not remember that. Probably not as much as she wanted. But it did not necessarily end her career. Dr. Phil writes, my favorite part of the Party and Kerrigan drama was after Kerrigan won the silver, she still went to Disneyland. If you remember the parade, people could pick her out saying, this is so corny. Later, she went on SNL, and then her monologue, she tried to straighten out any confusion, told everyone she was saying. I don't remember that. I'll leave that alone.
It was a very uneven Saturday Night Live performance.
Oh, do you remember?
I remember it vividly.
I do not remember.
Watching it in my grandparents' place in Cedar Falls, Iowa. And it was a big deal because we were all, obviously, all of us were watching the Olympics, especially because of that. And then I remember watching it, and even as a 12-year-old going, this is not great. Not the best athlete that's ever been on SNL.
I don't remember.
Only on certain things.
Who is a better Nancy Kerrigan? Nancy Kerrigan or Margot Robbie?
Ooh,
think about it.
Think
about it. We'll
have to think about that.
Yeah.
One other thing for you, Kessler.
Mm-hmm.
Have you all ever thought about how the Kessler intro says, "I didn't do anything wrong at the Minneapolis airport," immediately followed by "It's Pat Kessler"? Almost implies it was Kessler saying it. I'm guessing those of a younger audience are not tracking the senator from Utah.
What if I was in the stall next to
could have been
the senator from Utah?
The white stance guy, the senator from Utah.
Is
he still alive? Is he still alive?
I believe
Larry Craig, right?
I believe he is.
He just came up. We just looked him up a couple of months ago.
I don't remember that. Is that true?
Yes. We looked him up a couple of months ago for something.
I'm going to save a lot of the ICE stuff for next segment, but I do want to get to this text that came in early for you from Brian out of Mantorville. Kessler, does Kessler think Klobuchar would appoint Al Franken to finish her term if she gets elected governor? She kind of had him fall on the sword when the Trump tape came out. That's Brian from Mantorville. What do you think?
That would be an incredible news story if that happened. I don't see that happening. I really, really don't. I think that would torpedo Amy Klobuchar on the day she takes office.
Seriously?
I do.
You think there'd be too much blowback? You're saying it's not worth it?
I absolutely do. I don't think it's worth it. I don't think Al Franken would necessarily want that. We got 2 U.S. Senate seats here. Come back and run for it.
Yeah, that's true.
I would.
When's the last time you talked to Al Franken? I know you guys text and talk more than people know.
Yeah, talked in person that year.
Oh, seriously?
Year that he left, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yes. We have had some communication.
He doesn't live here now, does he?
Back and forth. They have the house here.
They do still have okay.
Yeah, they have a house here.
And maybe New York still?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Because we haven't heard much from him lately, have we?
Well, he's very, very active. So I follow him fairly closely. He's very active in a lot of different things.
Yeah.
Politically.
Right.
And in fact,
you think he's still bitter?
I think it was hurtful. And in retrospect, you look at all of the stuff going on right now. In retrospect, it was 14-year-old humor, yes. But it was not something that he necessarily should have resigned for. And why didn't they have a hearing?
He got cut off at the knees by other Democrats.
But starting with Senator Gillibrand.
You're right.
In New York.
Was at the top of the
She was the first one. Now, where are they now? Well, this is the height of the Me Too movement, and he paid the price for it. And for something for something silly and dumb, but not anything that was hurtful and harmful. So I think that was a really tough one. And you look back on it and think, man, why did that happen? No, I don't think he'll be that person. I don't think he'll be appointed to the U.S. Senate by Amy Klobuchar. And I know that I have a feeling she's going to wait till the very, very end so she can appoint the person. She could resign from the U.S. Senate now, and Republicans will urge that, and then Governor Walz would have to do that
for a while, would she? She's not going to do it. Do you think she's going to? She's not going to.
Well, no, I mean, they're calling on her. They're calling on her.
Yes, I know.
No, she's not going to do it until she's sworn in.
Exactly.
No, absolutely. She's going to. And this happens all around the country. U.S. senators running for governor in their respective states are not going to step down, Republican or Democrat.
All right, let's get to whether we believe that there really is going to be an end to the ICE operation here, like not within weeks, but within days, because there's growing indication of belief in that regard. What evidence is there? Where is that going? And we'll get to a number of other stories as well. Kessler with us. The Bradshaw and Bryan KFAN text line is open at 64686. We'll also find out what Kessler's favorite Winter Olympics event is. He's always had that snowbird in him. We'll see what his favorite Winter Olympics event is. And you can't say hockey because that's obvious. I need something a little bit more esoteric than that. Stay tuned.
Wild Hockey might be on a break, but Wild Wednesdays are not. And all day on Wednesdays, you can use the talkback feature on the iHeartRadio app. Tell us who your Wild MVP is at the break, and winners will be selected all day for Wild versus Lightning tickets on March 3rd. Hit the talkback. Let us know who your MVP is. Wild Wednesday.
Larry Craig was from Idaho, not Utah. Good correction there. That's Paul from Blaine.
Nobody's correcting me in the stall next to him.
Kessler, Margot Robbie played Tanya Harding. She's blonde. She didn't play Nancy Kerrigan. You narcissistic SOB. That's what they're saying.
Good catch. Good catch for the bit.
When Nancy Kerrigan hosted SNL, she and Chris Farley did a great skit where they were a skating duo. Now, that I think I remember.
Yes.
And that was a high point.
David Spade was one of the announcers.
Yeah, that was actually pretty good. Nancy Kerrigan was not very well liked before she got her knee bashed in. After that incident, she was beloved. So the knee bashing was actually good for her image. Interesting point. I mean, her image was not good at the time. I'm not sure she would say that was worth it, but
I love how
became a more sympathetic character. I mean,
I love how people
assaulted.
are remembering this as if it were yesterday.
That's true. Yeah. I know. It's crazy.
It's vivid.
It's a long time
in our Olympic memories.
Klobuchar can't appoint Franken. He's not a Minnesota resident. He was interviewed last year, maintains a property here, but is a registered voter and resident of NYC. Is that true? I have no idea.
Well, he does live. He's always had this condo in New York City, but he's got his place here. And I'm going to tell you, there are a lot of U.S. senators and members of Congress, not members of Congress, but U.S. senators who just kind of swoop in and say, okay, I live here now, and I'm going to do it.
You're getting destroyed
That's
about
fine.
the Harding-Kerrigan thing. I mean, they're getting the wrong...
It was a bit.
Oh, that was a bit?
God.
Movie fraud, you're being called?
It was a bit. But good catch.
Why the antiquated notion that a new stadium needs to be in Minneapolis? It's the least business-friendly. The restaurant hotel scene is not what it was. Crime is still disproportionate compared to other options. I think if U.S. Bank Stadium was being built today, it would be in Eagan, where the Vikings can capitalize on their investment. That's Allen and Afton.
Well, that's kind of interesting, but I'm sorry to tell people, but Minneapolis is the economic engine of Minnesota. And it should be, as people are building this, one of the considerations is where you're going to put it so people can get there and get there easily.
Well, I'd like to agree with you, but I'm now openly campaigning for the Chicago Bears moving to Gary, Indiana, my hometown.
How about that?
They are apparently making a huge, maybe too good to pass up offer. Now, would the Bears actually have the cojones to do it is the question. I don't know, but I'd love to see it because it might. I mean, if any town in America needs revitalization, it's my hometown, Gary.
Yeah, I mean, it's fantastic. But if they did it, how would that work for the fans?
Well, it's just a different direction for
the Vikings. We've been talking about where your fans live, and you do want to have an arena or a stadium near where the fans are.
Correct.
So, wow. So in the Tony suburbs, the northern suburbs of Chicago. So what is it?
Sounds kind of elitist.
Is it an hour drive?
Yeah. Well, if you're coming from north, like northern suburbs, it's be more than that.
Or western also.
Yeah, but then there's huge population parts not that far from Gary, south suburbs of Chicago.
And the western suburbs down by Joliet and the Fox Valley. Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm just saying. All right, let's get...
Wouldn't that be something?
So,
oh, my God.
Are we on the verge of... I mean, are we days away from ICE leaving town?
It's a great question, and I would also pose the question that Tom Homan, the head of the border czar, said last week that we're going to have a drawdown. Has anybody in our listening audience noticed a drawdown of ICE agents and Border Patrol agents in Minneapolis? I'm going to say it's really hard to tell. I'm going to say no. There was a high-speed chase in my neighborhood today. Where ICE agents were chasing a dude that they said was an illegal immigrant and had crimes. Nobody can find what the crimes are at this moment, but they chased him through the areas. He hit a car. Another car hit it. Big crash. People go to the hospital over on the eastern side of St. Paul down by the cathedral. So that happened. You've got ICE agents that we see now are staking out bus stops so they can get people going to work and coming home from work, and also kids going to school, parents. So I don't know. I don't know that I've seen a lot of an end to the occupation of Minneapolis. Haven't seen it. Governor Walz said yesterday that he is of the understanding, he has an understanding after talking with the White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles and Tom Homan, the border czar, who has taken the temperature down, I will absolutely admit. He says that they're going to be out of here within days, not weeks and not months. Within days is what he said. It just seems like having the cost of this, which is literally hundreds of millions of dollars.
Literal and figurative.
And you've got, the emotional, the deaths, the shootings, the damage, all of that ICE has caused here in Minneapolis. The cost of all of this, the overwhelming troop force, just does not, it's not justified by the tiny, tiny number, comparatively, that we have of undocumented immigrants here in Minnesota, and particularly the violent ones that they say they are going after. So he says soon, I'll believe it when I see it, but that would be really good news for the state of Minnesota.
How long do you believe it realistically will take to rebuild the credibility and expertise built over a long period of time of the U.S. Attorney's Office in Minnesota?
This is so difficult to look at this. These are the premier offices, attorneys' offices in government, in all of government in the United States. People compete to get into these offices, and now there are resignations, not just here in Minneapolis, where there have been 14, 15 resignations of the most experienced, the highest qualified, the best attorneys in the state of Minnesota were working there on issues like fraud, welfare fraud in Minnesota, prosecuting all of these cases. And they've, because of ethical reasons, being asked to do by the Trump administration things that they feel are unethical. Many of them resigned, and others being asked to, if they support Donald Trump and his priorities.
Here is more specifically, as we talked about on yesterday's show, according to Chris Mattel, a U.S. Attorney's Office question for U.S. Attorney's Office for Minnesota application question. How would you help advance the president's executive orders and policy priorities in this role?
There it is.
It's in black and white. He has seen it, and his response was DOJ should be apolitical. This reveals what happens when children run our major institutions. He's back on CNN tonight, by the way.
Okay, so what if that's going to be a gig for him? I mean, just
could be,
they need
they
somebody
love
like
argumentative.
him. And argumentative. I love that about him too.
Yeah,
but they need somebody who is down the middle.
Yes,
who can go in a number of different ways. He leans Republican, leans right, I think. But he is somebody who is really a common sense kind of guy. So yeah, and news today about your guy Joe Thompson.
Yeah, actually yesterday.
Office.
Yeah, we talked about it briefly yesterday.
Yeah.
He is now going to be among the attorneys representing your guy Don Lemon. There's a lot of guys going back and forth.
Yes.
We got to get, before we go to the stats that I had seen, you had included in the notes here, that are pretty stunning. And this comes from CBS. This is a CBS report regarding what they chronicle, according to their reporting, as the percentages. It's a percentage breakdown when it comes to the question of how many of those arrested and detained by ICE have, in fact, had violent criminal records. What does the CBS report suggest?
Yeah, CBS News, using numbers from the Department of Homeland Security that they have assembled. This is a document they obtained through sources. Interesting number, because I didn't know how many people have actually been arrested or detained. And that number, according to CBS, is nearly 400,000. That's a lot, but it's not a million, as Donald Trump wanted.
Well, be careful what you ask for there.
Fewer than 2% of those who were arrested and detained are murderers and rapists. Fewer than 2% are gang members. And 40%, 4 out of 10, have no criminal record at all. So there are a lot of people who do have some convictions for drugs
and DUI,
that kind of thing. And those all matter. But the majority of them are not what the Trump administration says they were trying and hoping to do.
I think the overall number you cited is that overall, if you put all the numbers together, less than 14% of illegal immigrants arrested by ICE have violent criminal records of any sort. 14%. And then we're back to what keeps getting drummed away. In fact, weren't there hearings today where it got very volatile regarding some of these issues? Did you watch much of the hearings on Capitol Hill today?
Yes, I did. And Pam Bondi was there.
Your gal.
The U.S. Attorney General was there. And I'm going to tell you, I mean, and I love this stuff, but I had to mute it a couple of times. These are our representatives in Congress and in the Trump administration, and they were going at it, yelling at each other. It was like they were 15-year-old kids in high school just yelling at each other, insulting each other. But much of it was on the Epstein files. Some of it was on immigration. And every time that it was a Democrat, every time a Democrat would cite these kinds of numbers, that you're not only going after the murderers and rapists, you're going after the grandmothers who have worked in the bakery for the last 30 years. And every time that stat was given,
I cited one of them, this Washington Post story. It was in a different part of the country, but it's just this mind-boggling.
Who are you arresting and detaining? Right. Every time that happened, the Attorney General of the United States would hold up a picture, a photograph of a murderer who they have deported or gotten out of jail, put in jail, convicted, whatever it is, and then say, look at this, look at this. That's what it was like, and it was not productive in my view. Although somehow we're going to have to figure out how to get past all of this. They did ask about Renee Good and Alex Preddy.
Right.
And, except the question was, will you apologize here and now for what you've done? And the stock answer is, well, that's under investigation. And my question is it? Do we know? I mean, we know nothing.
Well,
so where are we? We didn't advance anything today, in my view.
No, it's sad because, again, there's always been some performance in those hearings since they've been put on TV.
Absolutely.
I think, but the percentage of it now is so much higher. And like you said, it's not, I always thought best case, you're actually going to get information exchanged. You're going to get, good questions asked that relate to a policy decision or a series of whatever, and then you're going to get some answers. And there might even be some debate on it, but it'll be on the substance of it.
I'd like to hear it.
And it's not. It's
make
all,
your case. I want to hear it.
It's all theater.
Absolutely.
There's nothing. It's like it's not even asking questions. It's I've got 2 minutes and I'm going to read a statement. And I'm not saying the statement doesn't have some validity, but I'm saying you could do that. Just get in front of a podium and do the statement. I want to have some back and forth, but there's no meaningful back and forth now.
So before we have the midterm elections in 2026, November of this year, I mean, it would be very interesting if Donald Trump just shut it all down, leaves Minneapolis, doesn't go to other cities, kind of takes the temperature down, declares victory on the Mexican border, and say, I did what I was elected to do, and it's over. Let's move on to something else, like building a ballroom, whatever it is, a triumphant arch,
yes,
whatever it is.
Right.
But I mean, he did this on the southern border, so take the W.
Well, we're a long way from that at this point.
We are at this point.
All right, we'll see you. You know what I could see in your future as a guy who clearly has too much time on his hands?
Cannot wait to hear.
Here's what you should do. In all seriousness, because I know
this is in all seriousness.
It is.
It is.
You have your number. You have his number. I think you should become. You unofficially did this for the Vikings and for Lester Bagley. Mm-hmm. You should more officially become A-Rod's PR advisor, media relations advisor on how to move forward, to get his message across, to get his arena built.
From one narcissist to another.
Wow.
You could help him out.
Perfect. You got all the time in the world. You got
need somebody in Minnesota.
Yes.
I thought
you've
you
been
were
through
going to
how
say
many arena wars?
Many.
So,
what do you need to do?
You know what language needs to be spoken. Just saying, it's something to think about.
Well, don't go there.
What does that mean?
What language? It's English.
Well, no. That's nothing to do with what I'm saying.
So here's the thing.
Thank God.
I thought you were going to ask me about Al Franken.
You should do a podcast with Al Franken.
Yeah, like what I should do
just talked
is
about it.
call up Al Franken.
You thought you were calling back.
Oh, I
to get Franken out of the weeds.
Get him out of there. I really wanted to talk about the halftime show, but I know this. We're just driving it into the ground.
Well, yeah, we talked about it.
I know
ad nauseum yesterday, and I know
you loved it, and it wasn't as good as Prince. Is that an AI?
That is a good summary, is it not?
There it is.
Yeah, that says it all, doesn't it?
There it is.
Yeah. But you were tempted to say it was better. I
was. But no, all I wanted to say is because we've been talking about languages all week.
Right.
And I don't understand what Bob Dylan says.
Correct.
I seriously.
Well, but that's on you.
I saw him a few months ago.
You're still too bitter for that one time you saw him. And
I'm bitter with John Bream.
He turned to Bream. What did he do wrong?
Well, he said people.
Yeah.
People who said that it wasn't good Dylan, they're not real fans.
He did say that.
Come on,
he
John
called
Bream.
you out. That's what he did, pretty much. All right, we got to go.
All right,
Kessler,
goodbye.
5, 6, and 10. Back to wrap things up.
Show Wrap is presented by American Pressure, commercial-grade pressure washer since 1975.
It's the bumper-to-bumper Show Wrap.
Real quick, there are a couple people who think we were trying to somehow hide what 14% of 400,000 is. I can't do that math. I'll take his word for it that 14% of 400,000 is 56,000. That may well be. And the presumption seems to be that why are you afraid of that number? Not afraid of it at all. The issue is what we have been told is that this endeavor was about taking out the worst of the worst. The numbers prove what many of us have been saying from the beginning. That's not close to what's taking place. If that's all that was taking place, I wouldn't be arguing with it. We talked about this yesterday. I'm not even arguing with what they're trying to get done regarding the county jail. But if you're telling people all along it's about the worst of the worst, and the percentage is that low, that simply confirms that your sweeps are much wider and to that extent less effective than they should be or that they need to be. Nobody's running from that number. No one's saying that those individuals should somehow stay. Celebrate the hell out of that. But these numbers are further proof that it's a much, much wider event. And every poll I've seen indicate that the vast majority of Americans think it's been cut with too wide a swath, not even close. And we've seen how that's played out here, even if it hopefully is about to come to a relative end. Kessler, 5:30. Kevin Seifert, 3:30. It looks as if there's a good chance we will be joined by former Viking head coach Leslie Frazier, celebrating another Super Bowl parade yesterday.
Awesome.
He may be part of the festivities tomorrow. Dr. Dan's inbox will be part of the festivities tomorrow. I think Salisbury's probably off.
Yep.
And is there anything else already on the docket?
Thinking we'll maybe try to do Russo if he can after
Russo
the
if
game.
he can. Yeah, it's Thursday or Friday for sure.
Yeah.
Even better. So that's the plan. The whole show will be podcastable and downloadable. Let's also remind you that after Fan on Demand on the air, more Timberwolves basketball on the flagship, FM 100.3 The Fan, as well as the Timberwolves channel. Last Wolves game before the break.
By the way,
they're hosting the Portland Trailblazers.
You tweeted about it, but did I miss it? Was I doing something else? Did you give your daily Finchy affirmation? Your moment of gratitude?
There was something I forgot.
Well, do 2 tomorrow.
I may have to make up.
You better do 2 tomorrow. I'll make sure you do 2 tomorrow.
I'll never stop appreciating the job that Chris Finch has done, and I expect him to be worthy of it tonight. I fully expect this club to capitalize on its breakthrough victory a couple of nights ago and to make it 2 in a row for Mike Yo before the break.
Ant was a late questionable with an illness, but he is good to go.
He is good to go.
Finchy. Yeah, he will be playing tonight.
As long as DeSumo is ready to go, I'm fine. That's all I care about now. Straight line guy. In fact, that's the quote I meant to save as well. I'll get to that. Maybe the Finchy daily affirmation tomorrow will actually be Finchy affirming some of the positive attributes that DeSumo represents. Io DeSumo.
We need to have Krager's on in the near future.
Should. That's true. We're way behind.
I got a text from him recently.
Yeah, is he excited?
Amazing. Amazing.
Is he going to use that on his podcast?
Probably already has.
Probably already has. That's true. Thanks for watching. Thank you for listening, and we will talk to you tomorrow at 3:00.
Go get them, Glenn. Show us what you can do.
Thank you, everybody, for coming here.
Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for your vision, for your spirituality, for healing me. Mostly, though, Dan, thank you for my life.